right, so the first factory two-stroke turbo. So big news in the snowmobile industry. Skidoo has taken the step to make the 850 Etec Turbo. I was actually able to head up to Smith Marines and check the sled out. That's one of our local central New York dealers. It's up in Old Forge. They sit at around 1,700 feet of elevation. So we don't have a ton of off-trail mountain type riding, but Skidoo still felt the need to give them a sled. I super appreciate Doug letting me, take the panels off, the hood off. You'll see all that stuff in the video.
I'm gonna pop the hood off, right?
Sure, if you don't mind.
We made it so it's easy.
Yeah.
Because it's been getting a lot of practice.
Yeah, I'm sure. Thank you.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
I wanted to kind of do my commentary while I was there in person, but it was a pretty busy showroom, a lot of people talking in the background, so the audio wasn't too good. So we're going to do the video this way instead. So first things first, for the people that don't know much about the sled, it makes 165 horsepower up to 8,000 feet of elevation, no more, no less. And then after that, it makes 40 plus horsepower over a naturally aspirated 850 Etec. So it does that by making 4 pounds of boost and adjusting it depending on conditions to hit that 165 horsepower number. You can see a graph now that I made showing every 1,000 feet the power difference between the 850 Etec and the 850 Etec Turbo. Like I said, we sit at around 1,700 feet of elevation, so I've seen a lot of guys saying, oh, we're at sea level, it's useless. Actually, it's still making 7 to 8 horsepower more than a naturally aspirated 850 Etec, so that's pretty cool in my opinion. The sled does run on 91 pump gas, so big plus. A lot of the aftermarket turbos, they make like 180-ish horsepower on pump gas, and they can get over 200 plus horsepower, but that's on av gas, race gas, things like that. So with this sled, you don't have to worry about any of that. 91 pump gas, you're good to go. The sled does have a 1-year warranty. I've kind of been saying these 4-year warranties are great, but there are guys that they really don't make a difference to them. And as soon as they get their sled, they're putting a turbo on it or putting a tune on it, aftermarket head, things like that. So the warranty's gone for them. And I was kind of waiting for a company to come with maybe a reduced warranty, but a higher performance sled. I don't know that Skidoo will keep the sled at this 1-year warranty for good. I could kind of see like maybe a 2-year warranty, but who knows, maybe they'll have a 4-year warranty and I'll just be completely wrong. If they have the confidence in the sled, then that's great. One of the cool pieces of tech the sled does have is a belt sensor. So what that does is it measures the temperature of the clutches and belts, and it will actually sound an alarm at 76 degrees Celsius, which is 168 degrees Fahrenheit. It will not restrict power, so if you want to keep sending it, you obviously can. But it gives you a warning so that if you want to keep the maximum amount of belt life possible, you have that option. The sensor can be unplugged and then it'll just read nothing. You'll have kind of like a readout on your sled, just like the engine temperature gauge. And if you were to unplug it, like I said, it won't affect your power at all. It won't detune the sled at all. It just won't have a reading. So, it's kind of not much to lose there. The guys that want it will have it. It'll help keep belt life, which is always kind of the joke I see with Skidoos. And the guys that don't want it, just unplug it. You don't have to worry about it. So Bikeman's already got a tune for this sled, 210 horsepower. I've heard it's up to 8 pounds of boost. So cool to see that amount of power does live in the sled. It's possible with the sled. Will we see that in the future? I'm not sure about a full 210 horsepower sled, but maybe something, in between the 165 and that 210 number. We'll see. So at this point, I'm going to kind of talk about my opinion of the sled and what I think it might mean for us trail crossover guys. If you're not interested in that, I hope the rest of the video interested you and you enjoyed the extra footage I had of the sled in person. But here we go with the opinion portion of the video. So I was really trying to wrap my head around why Skidoo would take a 165 3-inch Summit and give it to a central New York dealer. It definitely confused me a little bit. You can make the argument that, they probably do still sell a few Summits, but even at those numbers, I don't think it's worth giving a dealer around here a Summit. We have a local dealer that has a 174 from 2016 that he's literally had since new and can't get rid of it. So, there's not a huge market for them, even for like the handful they might sell every year. But what's something similar to a mountain sled? The backcountries, 146s. I know Smith Marine sells 154s as well. They had one that somebody backed out on with the spring order program. Those sleds have the shot start, which is a lot like the Summit sleds, narrow front end. Could probably make the best of an 850 turbo as well. There are some guys that are going to be in those middle elevations that could use the power. So when you're looking at big markets for backcountries, Smith Marine's kind of a big market for that, for the crossover guys. Could be worth giving them an 850 Etec Turbo. Do I think it's going to be in the 146? That's where I'm not sure. I could kind of see the 154 having it, and then them not having it in the 146, try to kind of entice guys to get the 154. That's where I'm not sure that the sled would still make sense for Old Forge, but the sled will make 7-8 horsepower over the regular 850 at our elevation, operating the sled in Old Forge. There's the guys out there that want the newest and the next best thing. That could kind of be the sled. I could see guys sacrificing, on-trail performance to say they have the cool new 850 Turbo. They're just the guys that want to spend the money, have the sled, to each their own. When do I think we'll see that sled? I'm tempted to say next year. My reason for that is, why bother giving them a demo right now if you don't have anything really coming to this area next year? Yeah, if you have summits, like I said, there will be a few sold, but a lot of the buzz will be gone if you wait 2 years for any sort of sled that's typical to our market. And I think there's got to be something that uses this engine and makes them want to have a demo on hand for a central New York dealer to kind of get the buzz going and get people thinking. So do I think I could see this engine living inside a trail sled? I do think that there's some sort of variant of this engine that will make its way to trail sleds. Some new hyper sled, in my opinion, would kind of make sense. There were all sorts of variants of the Mach Z back in the day, and I think you could kind of see that happening with this. Right now the sled has the lightweight hood, 6 pounds lighter than the factory hood. Not really a lot in the way of windshield mount for it, so there's definitely quite a few different things that would probably have to change to bring the sled to the trail market. But I think it's just the sheer cost of R&D, the amount of development they put in this engine. I can't imagine Skidoo wouldn't bring it to the trail segment in some way to kind of help get some of that money back that they've obviously invested in this engine. I think in a couple years we'll see some sort of variation of this sled, on the trails, and I'm sure the guys that want the biggest and the baddest will have it. I think it's some sort of middle ground 180 horsepower type tune. The sled would be nice competition for stuff like the Sidewinders, and just kind of get them that top dog name again. Right now it's kind of been held by Arctic Cat and Yamaha for so long that it's not even really a thought in anybody's mind. And a sled that's only 10 pounds heavier than a regular 850 two-stroke with that type of horsepower, I think would really sell well. So that's kind of where I see it going. Timeline wise, I really don't know. I would kind of be inclined to say probably 2 model years out, so not 2021, but maybe 2022 we would see something. But again, that's just my opinion. I'm sure a lot of guys will disagree with me, but we'll kind of see what happens. I think it would sell well, but like I said, I think what we'll see first is a backcountry with this engine, possibly next year. I don't think in the full backcountry lineup, but something a little bit longer, definitely aimed more at the off-trail type buyer that could still take advantage of this engine at elevations, but not necessarily for the strictly trail guys. Let me know down below what you guys think we'll see the 850 Etec in, what you guys want to see it in, what you think we'll see it in, if anything at all. Good for Skidoo for bringing the sled to market. They took a big step with the 850 Etec back in 2017, and the rest of the market followed. Now they've taken another big step with this 850 Etec Turbo, and I think the rest of the market will follow again. We'll have to see how it plays out. Sorry that this isn't riding footage. Terrible winter here in New York. I've been saying that to you guys, but I hope you enjoyed the new footage of the sled. Super happy to have gotten to film it in person, and like I said, I really appreciate Smith Marine for letting me take advantage of that and helping me, take the hoods off and all that, because sometimes people get a little weird when you walk in with a camera and you're taking a sled all apart. If you guys have any other questions on the sled, let me know. I'll try to answer anything that I can. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Excited to see what the future holds, and thanks for watching, Brap Gang. See you in the next one.